What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, TheGoulGuy, back at you guys yet again with another video. Today, we're going to be showcasing another team for the Scroll Cup, since we have a whole nother week with the Scroll Cup anyway. And since I am getting higher up in rank, I basically am going to be showcasing a team that I feel like is very safe in this meta. And essentially, it's going to be a team consistent of a Gastrodon, Guzzlord, and as well as Sableye. Essentially, Gastrodon works really well against those fairies that you see out there because, of course, Guzzlord and Sableye being both dark types, essentially Gastrodon works pretty well neutrally against those fairy types. And then as well, it's not that there's really no fairy types, but anyway, charm users anyway. Let me say that the charm users, whether that be Gallade, I forgot what the the middle stage evolved for, Lipard, pretty much all the different charm users. Essentially, that's where Gastrodon comes into play. And then as well, we have Guzzlord that essentially is a dark and dragon type, pretty much negates other dark negates psychic, negates other dark Pokemon, and as well negates, you know, fire, electric, water. Works really well against Morpeko and everything like that, which is great. And then as well, we got Sableye in the back that's just super spammy with the foul plays, and as well also has the Dazzling Gleam fairy move that it just acquired for this new season. This is pretty much the team. This is what we're working with. I even checked with PB Poke. Seems like everything is pretty good, pretty much all around. So yeah, without further ado, let me show you the IVs and everything before we get into the battles. First and foremost, let's get Gastrodon on here. This is our Great League Gastrodon with Mud Slap, Body Slam, and as well as Earth Power. These are the IVs. Pretty decent PvP IVs. Could definitely be better, but with the higher attack, definitely we get the I forgot what you call it, charge attack priority, which is very nice with the Gastrodon there. So with the higher attack, definitely works out for me in the very end. And then as well, we also have our Sableye. Let's just go to our Sableye here. I'm still working on a Shadow Sableye. That'll definitely come later. I still have him as my buddy. But we have our Sableye here with Shadow Claw, Dazzling Gleam, and Foul Play. PvP IVs, really good PvP IVs. I'm actually, I should check to actually see what ranking it is in terms of PvP IVs, but I think it's actually really good. It's one I built like a while ago, but thankfully Dazzling Gleam came in clutch this season, so I was able to actually charge TM the Dazzling Gleam, and it worked out phenomenally for me. I feel like Sableye is just such a good Pokemon in this meta for sure. And then as well, last but not least, we have our Guzzlord. This is the Guzzlord I got from, I believe, one of the I forgot what you call it. One of the Go Fests out there. I think of the New York Go Fest. This is where I got this Guzzlord. It's basically, you got Dragon Tail, Sludge Bomb, as well as Brutal Swing on this one. Now, of course, there's some people that use actually Dragon Claw. I would probably actually recommend using Dragon Claw. But Brutal Swing, you can get to there pretty fast. Same with the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw actually works out a lot more neutrally. So you can spam out Dragon Claws, especially those neutral matchups. But you're going to see how I use Brutal Swing in these matchups. But yeah, Brutal Swing and Sludge Bomb there. Sludge Bomb, of course, for any fairy types I end up running across. Or if I'm, you know, going against something that's actually like another dark type, essentially that's where Sludge Bomb comes into play. Brutal Swing is just a spammy move. And that's why we have that there. And, you know, Guzzlord is just super bulky, and as I said, can tank a lot of moves. Same with Sableye. Sableye is actually pretty bulky as well, the non-shadow anyway, which apparently the non-shadow actually ranks higher in this league than, you know, the shadow does. But of course, shadow is going to hit harder. But anyway, that I stumbled over my words. But anyway, that is the IVs of everything. Let us get into the battles. Now, I will say with this, there's definitely some misplays here. There's definitely some misplays. We're going to be basically going over some of those misplays here. But it's really to show how like good, even if you switch in the wrong things, it still works. Like this is just a super safe teams. This is a super safe. But anyway, we got the Gastrodon versus the Quagsire. They switch into the Gyarados. Basically, what I'm going to try to do is just get to the Body Slam. Pretty much everything in the back here. Sableye is definitely going to be the best switch in for this, just because, of course, just Dragon Breath is going to do super effective against my Guzzlord, so definitely want to switch into the Sableye. Basically, I try to farm down here. I knew they were going to get to the charge move eventually here, but basically, we're just going to use a shield. But what I didn't notice that they actually farmed down enough energy to actually get to another Aqua Tail, which is very awkward for us there. So basically, we're just not going to use another shield. We're going to hold on to this shield and basically tank the Aqua Tail. I knew Sableye was definitely going to be able to at least tank the Aqua Tail, which is fine. We do have still energy for whatever they come in with, and it looks like it's going to be the Quagsire. We are going to be able to get to 2 foul plays. This is the beauty of Sableye. You're able to spam those freaking foul plays, which is amazing. Foul play, first foul play going through, and let's see if we can get to another foul play. Next foul play, let's see if they end up shielding it or not. Next foul play is going to be coming through. Is it going to be shielded? Let's see. It is not going to be shielded, and we are going to be able to take a good amount of health off on that Quagsire. They bring in another Dragon Breath user. It is going to be a Shadow Kingdra. It's going to be even worse for the Gastrodon here, but basically what we're going to be able to do is Dragon Tail does a little bit more damage than the Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath still is going to be taking a good amount of health off on this Guzzlord, which is very unfortunate. But basically what we're going to do, hit him with a Brutal Swing, get the first shield, and then switch into our our Gastrodon, and basically try to mud slap the rest of the way down. Now I was thinking, should I use a shield here? I was thinking, maybe I won't, but they use Outrage. They use Outrage onto the Gastrodon, unfortunately end up taking the Gastrodon out, but we are able to switch back into our Guzzlord. Guzzlord is going to be able to take the, basically the Kingdra out before it Dragon Breaths us the rest of the way down. We still have one more shield left against this Quagsire. Can we just farm it the rest of the way down? It would depend on if they have another Aqua Tail. Do they? No, they do not. Dragon Tail ends up taking them out before they get to another Aqua Tail, and we end up winning that game. But yeah, that was definitely that definitely was a close game for sure. Two dragons, I mean, well, not two dragons, definitely Gyarados is just a flying water type, but such a cool pick to actually have in this meta. I actually have a Shadow Gyarados. I was thinking of actually using in this meta, but apparently there's not, like, it doesn't really take out that many Pokemon. It's very low ranked within this meta, which is unfortunate. But anyway, we had the Gastrodon versus the Drapion, which is a very good lead. They switch into the Mantine. We're going to switch into our Sableye. Now, Sableye should definitely be able to take a Ice Beam, or even a Aerial Ace here. Ice Beam coming through, taking us basically to half, which is very unfortunate. But since they use Ice Beam, I basically take that advantage since they're a little bit energy dry and just build up a little bit more energy. So if I throw this foul play, hopefully I'm going to be able to get to another foul play before they get to the Aerial Ace, and unfortunately we cannot. I don't really check in terms of the counts or anything like that, so I unfortunately just I kind of go off of how many times I've used this Pokemon in terms of the counts, but whether oh my god, I can't even, I'm stumbling over words. But anyway, regardless, we get to another foul play here. They end up using another shield. Let's see if we can get to a second foul play. We do end up getting to the second foul play, bro. We do end up getting to the second foul play, which is amazing, and we are going to be able to throw that. Let's see if they end up shielding this one. They don't. Okay, so cool. We got one shield down, and basically we're shield by shield, and then they bring in a Chestnut. Chestnut is a core breaker for this team. Chestnut is a fighting and as well as basically a grass type Pokemon, which essentially is going to be very bad for the Guzzlord and very bad for the Gastrodon in the back, which is very unfortunate. But the quick moves are not effective to the Guzzlord, so that's why I bring in the Guzzlord, basically weighing down some of the energy off onto the Chestnut here. Well, basically taking down some of the health of the Chestnut using Dragon Tail. They bait us with the Frenzy Plant. Definitely could have took that Frenzy Plant, which is very unfortunate. Then they switch into the Drapion, which I'm basically going to be able to mud slap the rest of the way down here, but they are going to be throwing these non-stab Aqua Tails, which are going to hurt for sure because it is still a shadow. Oh, they actually use Crunch, which it's still not the best for me. So we are going to be basically throwing these body slams here, because I believe, okay, yeah, I thought they had one more shield left, but unfortunately they do not. Well, it's not really unfortunate, but I forgot, like, I thought the body slam was actually going to KO, but unfortunately it did not. So pretty much the Aqua Tail ends up basically getting us down to like barely a smidget of health, but we do end up surviving, which is very nice, and we are going to be able to use the body slam onto the chestnut and basically doing a whole bunch of damage over to the chestnut, which is very nice. Now, we do not have a shield, which is very unfortunate. I probably should have threw the Brutal Swing, but I don't think that would have actually... I think he has charge attack priority, but he ends up using a Frenzy Plant, which basically ends up winning us the game. I kind of lucked out there for the most part. If they had Superpower, definitely would have took us out for sure. But fortunately, they ended up using Frenzy Plant, and we ended up winning that game. But yeah, my bad. Stumbling on that words. Basically, I've been sick the last couple days, so it's been a little while since I've made a video. So bear with me here, bear with me. But anyway, we got another really good lead. We got Gastrodon versus the Drapion. They end up switching into a Mandibuzz, and we're just going to switch into the neutral play of Guzzlord. Guzzlord versus the Mandibuzz here. Mandibuzz, of course, is going to spam us. Oh, they actually use Dark Pulse, which you should definitely be using Air Slash here. But anyway, they end up using Dark Pulse. So pretty much we're going to retaliate here with the Sludge Bomb. This is where Dragon Claw definitely would be handy here, just because Dragon Claw, of course, against those other dragons is going to do really good, and as well against like something like this, which is basically like the Mandibuzz. Of course, you know, Brutal Swing isn't going to do that much damage to the actual Mandibuzz. So if you ever like came across a dark type, Dragon Claw definitely would be a little better in this scenario. But anyway, they're basically just going to spam us with the aerial aces here, but we are going to be able to get them down. But they end up switching into a Drapion. And pretty much we're just going to bait here. We're just going to bait with the Brutal Swing here. See if we can get a shield. Unfortunately, we do not get the shield. And I accidentally click into the Sableye. I meant to switch into the freaking Gastrodon. But you're going to see how I end up switching this here. Alright, so basically we're going to shield the first Crunch here. I know it can take the Crunch, but I just wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure, you know, that that Crunch didn't at least take us out to where we couldn't get to another move. We end up using a Dazzling Gleam here, getting the first shield. Now, I'm thinking in my head, do I take the Crunch? I might as well just take the Crunch, leave the shields for the back line here. Crunch coming through, basically doing a decent amount of damage, which is very unfortunate here. Pretty much, I'm just going to throw the Foul Play. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the actual Dazzling Gleam before they actually get it to their charge move. But they end up using their last shield, which is very nice for me. We end up sniping with the Gastrodon, well, almost sniping with the Gastrodon. They do get to their charge move, which is very unfortunate, which is a Crunch, basically taking us to half. Oh my goodness, very unfortunate there. But they bring back in the Mandibuzz, which essentially is going to just basically get KO'd by this Body Slam. Goodbye, Mandibuzz, and I believe they still have one more shield left, and it's a freaking Azumarill in the back. This is very bad, this is very bad for us, because of course Gastrodon's going to be weak to Ice Beam, and the rest of my Pokemon, of course, are going to be weak to the Fairy Charge move, of course. So basically, we're just going to have to play this, you know, smartly. We're basically going to use the shield on the Gastrodon, since Gastrodon has somewhat of a neutral play. You know, might as well just build up to a couple of Body Slams. See if I can get to at least 2 Body Slams. Oh, actually, never mind. I go for the actual Earth Power here, which actually makes a lot more sense. Earth Power is going to do a lot more damage. Body Slam is a spammy move, but Earth Power is technically just going to do a lot more damage. So let's just throw the Earth Power. Let's see. And it ends up KOing the freaking Azumarill, and we end up winning that game. I thought they had one more shield left. That's why I was thinking of just spamming the Body Slams, but hey, I was very locked in when I played this match, okay? I was very locked in. Mind you, we are at 2173 at Ace right now. I believe after this match we get to 2240 something, if I'm not mistaken. Very much half of Ace, getting up to... forgot what's after Ace. Veteran. Almost a veteran. Almost a veteran. We got a good lead here. Gastrodon versus Morpeko. They end up switching into the Golisopod. I meant to switch into the freaking Guzzlord, but that is okay. We basically end up switching. This is the second time in a row I end up switching into the wrong Pokemon, but that is fine. Sableye actually is able to tank X-Scissor a lot better than Guzzlord, surprisingly enough. But we do get to the charge move, but unfortunately, Golisopod gets to the charge move faster, well, before we did. I for whatever reason, I'm thinking in my head that Golisopod takes a little longer to actually get to his charge moves than normal, but you know, I don't know. It might be just from previously playing against this Pokemon. But anyway, we get to the Dazzling Gleam. Basically, just going to throw a Dazzling Gleam to the Golisopod, see if we can just end up KOing the Golisopod or get a shield. I think he already used one shield before, so this is going to be his last shield. They end up using their last shield, basically making sure that that Golisopod stays on the field. Basically, we're just going to save our last shield for the back line. Aqua Jet coming through, taking out the Sableye, and then now we're just going to bring out the Guzzlord. Now we are bringing out the Guzzlord, and this is where I found out how much X-Scissor would do in comparison to the Sableye. We're going to let the X-Scissor go. X-Scissor goes, and it basically takes majority of the health out on the Guzzlord, which is insane. I thought the Guzzlord definitely would have been able to tank that move a little better, but unfortunately it just does not. But yeah, so pretty much what we do here, I believe we use a shield. Yeah, we're going to use a shield here. Just because the Aura Wheel definitely still would have took us out at the lower health that we were in. But they ended up baiting us with the Psychic Fangs, which is very unfortunate. Definitely could have saved that shield for sure. We're basically just going to throw a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb basically doing majority of the health off on the Morpeko, and then basically we switch into the Guzzlord. Or we switch into the Gastrodon. Gastrodon ends up taking out the Morpeko, and then basically they bring out a Mantine. And now pretty much with the Mantine, we're just spamming. We're just basically just going to be spamming these body slams left and right onto this this Mantine, and then hopefully we get the Mantine all the way down in terms of health to the point where we can just switch into the Guzzlord, and Guzzlord can just Dragon Tail the rest of the way down. That is the goal. That is what we're planning on doing. And if things get rocky, we can always switch into the Guzzlord to actually take a hit. That is basically my plan here. But basically, we get to another body slam. We're going to be throwing that body slam here. Very nice. Cool. And then basically I know they're going to be throwing an Aerial Ace soon, so basically I end up switching into the Guzzlord to take the hit, and they pretty much have to, right? Because Dragon Tail basically is just going to farm it down. They get to the Ice Beam. Ice Beam's taking out the Guzzlord. Can we get to the Body Slam before they get to another Aerial Ace? And we can. Body Slam coming through, basically going to be taking out the Mantine, and boom, there we go. Taking out the Mantine, Gastrodon living on the smidgen of health, and we end up winning that game. As I said, that was the second game where I accidentally switched into the wrong Pokemon, right? Because, of course, Guzzlord takes super amount of damage with the X-Scissor, but it's not effective to the actual, you know, to the why am I having a brain fart on this? The Shadow Claws. Anyway, yeah, so basically it's not effective to the Shadow Claws due to it being dark. And of course, you know, Sableye being part dark, it's like it takes more neutral than super effective, but it's still, since it is part ghost, was going to take a good amount of damage. So that is the reason why I said, like, I should have just definitely switched into the Guzzlord with that one. But you can see how safe this team is based off of, like, literally how even when I misplay, I still end up winning at the end of the game, which is insane. Anyway, next game here, we got Gastrodon versus our, we got Gastrodon versus the Sableye there. They end up switching into a, dang, why am I slipping on this name right now? Jellicent. Anyway, they end up switching into the Jellicent. We're basically going to throw an Earth Power into the Jellicent and then basically switch into the Guzzlord. Guzzlord is basically going to be able to tank majority of the damage from the Jellicent. Shadow Ball is not going to do that much damage. Surf isn't going to do that much damage. Well, Shadow Ball definitely is doing a good amount of damage. Even non-effective, it still is about to basically take me down to half or even less than half, which is very unfortunate here. But at least it's not super effective, and I am going to be able to come out with some energy, which is very nice. Basically, they end up switching back into the Sableye. I have no clue why I did this. Definitely do not do this. Never throw a poison move against a ghost type Pokemon. Never do that. But I do end up getting a shield, which is very nice. But would have been even... Oh my god, what? I swear he did not switch his Pokemon right when I hit Brutal Swing. But anyway, they end up catching onto the Blastoise, which is very nice for my opponent here. We're basically going to try to get to another Brutal Swing, just to lower the HP of this Blastoise here. Just a little lower here, unless we get a shield, and we do get a shield, which is very nice. Now I'm thinking in my head, what do I do here? We do have our Gastrodon in the back. Basically, we do still have another Body Slam, which is very nice. Let's see if we can get maybe even the last shield, or maybe we can get the health down just a little bit lower. There we go. We do, and basically we're just going to save both of our shields for the Sableye in the back. Sableye is just such a good Pokemon. 2-shield Sableye is even better, okay? So pretty much what we're going to do here, we're just going to shield the first Hydro Cannon here, because I'm pretty sure he built up a whole lot of energy that he just did not throw. So pretty much what I'm going to try to do is just farm it down, but unfortunately it gets to another Hydro Cannon. So pretty much we're just going to take this. I know Sableye can definitely take a Hydro Cannon, especially a non-shadow Blastoise. That's not a problem. And then they bring in their Sableye. They bring their Sableye back in. We still have a shield left for the Sableye, which is going to be very nice. They're going to throw in a Foul Play. We're going to throw our Foul Play. And if this is their last, I don't think they have any more shields left, actually, and this should be KOing, and it does. Oh, actually no, one more Shadow Claw, and it does end up KOing their Sableye, which wins us the game. But yeah, I'll be so stuck in the commentary that I forget how many shields they actually end up having. Like, I call out the shields that they're using, and then literally be like, do they still have shields left? But anyway, that was a 5-0 game, basically getting us to 22-43. I think I ended off my sets today at like 20. What was it, 22, yeah, like 22, 53, 54, somewhere in there. So we are halfway there to veteran, which is very nice. But anyway, that is the end of the video. As I said, one of the safest teams that I literally have I've built for this cup anyway, which is very nice. You know, it's game time. It's time to actually get like down and dirty. Time to get locked in, so we can actually climb up the ranks here. I know it's still early in the season, but I definitely want to get a very good head start at least. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think of the team down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps the channel grow. Definitely go out there for the Spotlight Hour. Spotlight Hour is going to be like, in the time of making this video, I mean, you probably won't see this until after Spotlight Hour, but definitely go out there. If you haven't already, definitely get those shelters, man, because Spotlight Hour is going to be very important to get that Stardust gains. I believe 500 shelter catches at least will give you to a million Stardust, which is going to be very nice. But definitely going to be, soon as I get done with this video, going to go out there and hunt for these shelters, which is going to be very nice. But yeah, but anyway, that is the end of the video. Definitely let me know what your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.